Because otherwise we're just going to sit here and stare at each other.
Everybody just has to go like this.
Good evening. I would call to order the Wyndham Raymond School District Board of Directors. It's May 1st, 2019 at 6:30 p.m. and we're in the Wyndham Town Council chambers. Mr. Prince?
Kate Bricks.
Here.
Eric Colby.
Present.
Janine Cummins.
Here.
Don Dillon. Marge Cavoni.
Here.
Pete Hensler. Here. Anna Kenny.
Here.
Kate Levier. Here. Scott McLean.
Will you all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Prince, are there any adjustments to the agenda? Okay. It's now the opportunity for public input. If anyone from the public would like to comment on items that are not in the agenda, this is the time to do it. Okay. We have the Wyndham High School students sharing capstone projects now. Mr. Karen, do you want to come up?
Thanks for having me. I'm Ryan Karen, principal at the high school. As you know, we are rolling out the first year of the capstone project. It's a great opportunity for students to do some in-depth research on a topic of their choosing and try to do maybe a little bit of non-traditional research, get out in the community and visit some people and then do a presentation. So on last Friday, we held a capstone fair where we had an opportunity for the seniors to share what they had learned with other students and teachers and some administrators from throughout the district, several of you, and we felt it was a great success. So we are over 3/4 of the seniors have now completed their capstone. So I took all of the paperwork from the capstone fair and I spent the weekend going through and sending a few people emails. You owe me one more reflection, or this looks great. But we're only about 60 students left. Out of those 60, well over 30 have plans. We're working with them and we're reaching out to try to work with some others. We've got a group of kids that are going to share their presentations at the Voc Center with their Voc instructors instead of doing it at the fair. So we're looking forward to that. I have a student who has written and is producing a play that they're going to put on this Friday in the auditorium. So it's some pretty cool stuff. So tonight we've got a couple of students. Allison and Karen can share a little bit of what they did in theirs, just so you get a little glimpse of the good stuff that was done. So,
that's great.
Can you see her slideshow?
We can down here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can you see my first slide? Okay. I don't really need it. I can just talk to you guys. It's okay. I'm Allison. I'm a senior at the high school. And when I started my capstone, I wasn't really sure what I was going to major in for college, so I decided to kind of go through my hobbies. And I reached out to Port City Photography. And at first, I kind of just expected them to be like, yeah, you can shadow us and just watch us take pictures. But when I first had my first day there, they had me working, so I went and I was a poser for their basketball, one of their rec Portland basketball photo shoots, and it was really, really hands-on, and they were like, Allie, just jump in and fix their hair. And then the second time I went, I kind of just kept moving up, so she showed me a couple things on her camera, and she let me take a couple pictures, and then I ended up just kind of becoming a part of their team and knowing what I was supposed to do when I got there. And it was just really hands-on the whole time. And then I think about a month ago, they took me to their studio in Portland, and I decided to change my research question. At first, I was just wondering what it takes to be a photographer, and then I was kind of getting curious about my camera because everything that they do is manual and I shot on automatic. So I was like, I don't really know how to use my camera. So they took me to their studio and we went through all the settings on my camera, and they told me this is how you control the lighting and this is why it does this. and there was so much to learn. And they were like, "Do you want to go outside? We can take a couple pictures." So they brought their camera and I brought mine, and we compared them. And it was like 3 hours of just like one-on-one time with these photographers, and it was really awesome. So then after my 40 hours with them, I actually was offered a job, so now I'm working for them.
Wow.
Which is really awesome, and I'm just like really grateful for that experience, because now like I get to actually get paid for it and work with their team and have them keep helping me with my pictures. So I'll be taking people's senior pictures and they're going to help me edit and stuff. So that was kind of my experience with my capstone.
Wow, great.
That's great.
That's wonderful.
Thank you. Do you guys have any questions?
Yeah.
About?
Is it okay for us to ask questions
Sure.
now? Or do you want, I think that's great. What did you learn? Which takes better pictures, do you think? Their manual cameras or
Yeah, so I think that I learned by using my using manual is that like your camera will think for itself and like take a good picture, but like there's just always little things that need to be tweaked that can only be done by the person who's taking it. So like I do portrait pictures usually, and like with people's faces, like a lot of time half of it will be like shaded out and your camera doesn't really pick up on it. So I really liked that they taught me how to use like my manual settings so I can kind of think for myself.
Did you learn how important it was to frame when you're taking pictures, to make sure that there's portraits, that there's, that the necklace is straight and all the details that go into that? It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy. I kind of learned that with like the sports pictures, because with those big banners that we print for the high school, it's really important that like that one hair isn't sticking out
Right.
and stuff. Another really important thing that I learned that I never thought I would get out of the project is like my interactions with like the person you're taking a picture with. Like I found that I'm so much more confident behind the camera. That makes your like subject so much more confident like in their pictures.
That's
and
true.
you can tell.
That's terrific. That's great learning. Great learning. Anyone else have any questions? Excellent. Excellent job. Okay.
Hi, my name's Karen Dion. I am also a senior at Wyndham, and for my capstone, I chose to write a book and kind of follow that process with my mentor, who is the editor of the Wyndham Eagle. And I ended up getting my first piece published in the Wyndham Eagle. So that was my community service piece, and I ended up writing an article on the unified basketball team that went into our school paper.
Right.
And I just really have been working on making my writing better, and
Good at it. Yeah.
trying to figure out how to get published and stuff like that. And it's kind of been.
So have you thought about publishing?
Yes.
And
I haven't really taken many steps yet, since my book is not finished yet. It's almost finished, but
what's the genre?
it's mostly horror and mystery.
Uh-huh. Wow. Is it a YA? Is it or is it adult? What?
I don't know. I don't really.
YA is a young adult. So
Okay. Yeah, probably.
Yep. Fascinating. Self-publishing in Amazon.
Yeah.
It's an easy process. I mean, you don't get published, I guess, but it's easy.
But I'll have to look into that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, that's fantastic. Any other learning?
That's cool. I was just curious if the experience has changed or clarified your path beyond school. Like, has it helped you to decide what you want to do?
Definitely. I've realized that writing a book is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. I'm a very ambitious person, but I don't really think too much before I do things a lot of times, especially when I get a big plan in my head. So I am ready to finish this book and stuff like that, but it was just a long journey to get here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
You're the guinea pigs, the first to do this, and I had the opportunity, as others, gone to the event on Friday, and I was pretty impressed with the passion that a lot of you showed for your subjects, and I'm curious if you thought this was worthwhile versus community service.
At first, I kind of was like, oh, I kind of already started on my community service hours. It's a little like weird that they're changing it halfway through. But I wouldn't trade the capstone project for any community service hours, just because I feel like there's a lot of other opportunities that most of us are involved in at our school. Like our clubs all require community service, so I feel like I'm out there enough and like to be doing something that like I really like, and also to be like making an impact and getting out in my community was like, it was just way more like motivating. It made me want to do it a lot more.
And long term, perhaps your future, you got a job.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. What about you?
For me, when I first heard about the capstone, I was really kind of upset about it because I had all my hours done freshman year.
What a good doobie. That's great.
But once I actually got into it and like got a plan and everything, I was really excited about it, and I'm glad that we had this opportunity.
Good. Good. This is good feedback.
One of the things that we talked about when we were going through seeing all the capstones that we could see was that we would love you to come back and tell us after a year or 2 years, or after you publish your book, or when your first photograph is in Time magazine. We'd like to see that. We'd like to know, and so please do contact the central office and come back and talk to us.
Of course.
Fantastic. Absolutely great. Yes.
Ryan, I'm just curious, since you are at the helm of this new venture, if there's any new learning for you.
Lots of new learning for me. The importance of the connections in the community. Lynette's work with helping students find those connections. We kind of morphed her into really. We took the old school store and made that her office and put big signs up, capstone support, so that the students, especially in this first year, knew there was a place where they could go and just get help, encouragement, contacts, those type of things. I think that the fair went. I was hoping for 50 or 60 kids to take advantage of the fair, and when Lynette sent me the list of 140 kids who had reserved tables, I was blown away. And I think it's going to pay off, because some of the students who weren't ready to present walked around and saw their classmates, and they said, "Oh, I could do this," or "This is okay," and then the words got around that this wasn't as daunting as we would have thought. We're just talking about things that we're interested in, so that went very well. We will do a parent meeting earlier in the year. We waited until the start of the second semester this year, and we got some feedback from parents that they would have liked to have been in the loop in that way a little sooner. So next year we'll have a parent meeting at the beginning of the year and try to work some things out. The trickiest part was the community service aspect on some of the projects that didn't really lean themselves to community service. So we're going to work as a leadership group to see how we can clarify that and make that a little bit easier for students to find their way to give back. Some of them was really easy, and it built right into the project, but some it was a little bit tricky. So we're going to try to tighten some things up and get some feedback from some kids about their experience, and then talk to the juniors already. We've already had a few meetings with juniors to talk about what it looks like moving forward. But for the first year, we're really pleased, and I'm very confident we'll get the last group of kids through. I met with probably, 10 or 12 on Friday after the fair and said, "What are you thinking? How are we doing? What do you think?" And I think the majority have a plan, and those who don't, will help them find a plan.
Was it challenging to find enough mentors? And
I think so. This year we took a lot of the restriction off. So we say family members can be mentors, parents. So we didn't have. I don't think there wasn't a real difficulty finding mentors, but again, we had Lynette I didn't have to do a lot of those calls. So, what do you need? What are you looking for? And then she would help the kids find those connections, either on the phone or in person or on chat on the computers. But I think in most cases we could find we could find each student somebody to talk to in the area that they were interested in.
Even the young woman that I talked to who's worked with her mother in the daycare, it was a rigorous thing that she did, and finding out that she had to have CPR certification, which she took, and so her mom was the mentor, but she demanded a lot out of her, so it was excellent.
I was completely wowed.
Yeah,
I didn't even have time to talk to everybody, and I was really disappointed. Almost to a person, every single student demonstrated some passion about their topic, which was really, and my go-to phrase is, how are you moving forward with this, or are you moving forward with this? And they all really had some really good responses, so I was really, really impressed.
My favorite one was the person who said, I found out I'm not doing this.
Which was part of the attempt of it.
Danielle, I don't want to put you on the spot, but.
Yeah, I did mine last Friday, and I did mine on the Pleasant River and kind of more to present stuff too.
No.
Environmental indicators.
I wish we could have. You need to have light on you, so we would. I was also pleased to see students that I knew that were sophomores and juniors who were there looking at everything and enjoying it. So it's good.
I was going to ask that question. Did all the students get to
So no, we didn't know what the scale was going to be, and it was so we had the wonderful career fair on Thursday, so we had the table, so we'll set it up. But the sophomores were away on their college visits, so we didn't have all of the sophomores there, and we invited juniors. So I put out an email, please, everybody's welcome. We'd really like to have some juniors come down and take a look. So next year, thinking about it, maybe we want to do it in either 2 settings and try to get more kids through. But if it's going to have this type of turnout, then it's probably going to end up being a back-to-back with the career fair consistently. So the morning was better because we could get the tables out. The kids helped us. Seniors are great. They helped us clean up and pack up the tables on the way out. So we'll look at those things. But this year we tried to pack everything into that one week with the visits and the career fair. If we're going to have a lot of classroom disturbance, let's do it all together.
Right.
But there were some parents and sophomores that spoke about, geez, we would have liked to have seen it. So, which is tricky during the school day. So we talk about maybe end of the school day into the early afternoon, so parents can be around a little bit more. But so there's a lot of ideas we're kicking around that we weren't, because we were thinking maybe 40 to 60 kids would take advantage of this, and it ended up being well over half the class.
Did they have to RSVP so you knew how many to expect, or how did that work?
They would reserve tables, and then they had to have documentation that they were prepared to present. So I was out of the building on Thursday, so I didn't get to see it, but I heard that it was just a buzz of kids getting their last things signed off so that they were able to present on Friday.
So I hate to belabor it, but I was asked if I wanted to score, and I said no, that will not be happening. I just want to look, but. Talk to me just briefly about the scoring sheet and what that was all about.
So there's multiple pieces to the project, and the scoring sheet is really a did you do it or did you not do it, and it's based upon the guiding principles. So are they showing that they're reflective? Are they showing that they're practical problem solvers? Are they effective communicators? So there were pieces that if they followed the packet, they should have there, and it hits the guiding principles. So we asked I asked the staff members, once I found out it was well over 100 people, that our little administrative team wasn't going to be able to score. We said, we're only going to score today we're only going to score the presentation. So do they cover? So we took some pieces out of the rubric, gave a scoring sheet on just the parts that could easily be shown through the presentation. Teachers scored those. they attached those to the packets, and then I had the students turn the packets into me. And then as I was watching basketball and doing things over the weekend, I was going through to verify that the reflection pieces were there, and that the follow-through pieces, that they had all of their logs were complete and those things. And then I'm sending emails to kids as I finish up. I have Noelle send an email out to say, congratulations, your project was great. We have this is checked off, or I need your mentor's agreement wasn't signed. Could you get me that? Here's a picture of what you sent me, or could you give me one more reflection? So it's worked pretty smoothly, but that's kind of how the assessment part worked. It's did they complete it, and did they pick a great topic? Did they learn something, and have they been reflective about what they learned? And if they did those pieces, then we're checking it off.
Perfect. Thank
Great. Really fine.
you.
All right.
Thank
you very much.
Very much. Okay. Next, could I have a motion about second-year probationary contract status?
Sure can. I move to approve the superintendent's recommendation to grant second-year probationary status for the 2019-2020 school year to the teachers listed here. Apologies in advance if I get some names wrong. Kimberly Hutchins, special education teacher, Jordan Small Middle School. Brittany Chaplin, school nurse, Jordan Small Middle School. Haven B. Fieldson, health teacher, Jordan Small Middle School. Deborah Miller, teacher, grade 5, Manchester Elementary School. Mary Ellen Johnson, special education teacher, Manchester Elementary School. Tracy F. Henderson, teacher, grade 5, Manchester Elementary School. Megan Good, speech therapist, Manchester Elementary School. Robin Greeley, art teacher, Raymond Elementary School. Shannon L. Bartash, standards-based teacher, Raymond Elementary School. Darcy Finn, special education teacher, Wyndham High School. Jeff M. Conant, special education teacher, Wyndham High School. Ann Papalo, mathematics teacher, Wyndham High School. Michelle L. Lane, computer tech teacher, Wyndham High School. Nicole M. Densmore, English teacher, Wyndham High School. Krista L. Haberstroh, guidance counselor, Wyndham High School. Margaret A. Rickert, 3/5 English teacher, Wyndham High School. Kristen F. Chavanel, library media specialist, Wyndham High School. Stephen M. Adams, science teacher, Wyndham High School. Ryan Woodside, life science teacher, Wyndham High School. Emily W. Macaluso, physical science teacher, Wyndham High School. Alyssa James, art teacher, Wyndham High School. Anne Maria Goodwin, science social studies teacher, Wyndham Middle School. Jessica L. Golden, 8th grade teacher, Wyndham Middle School. Joyce Y. Babbitt, WMS library media specialist, Wyndham Middle School. Kimberly A. Hartwell, special ed teacher, Wyndham Primary School. Amanda L. Carver, kindergarten teacher, Wyndham Primary School. Amanda E. Doherty, kindergarten teacher, Wyndham Primary School. Michelle E. Keith, grade 1 teacher, Wyndham Primary School. Brianna L. Carbone, grade 1 teacher, Wyndham Primary School. Haley Sauerman, 2nd grade teacher, Wyndham Primary School. Jelaine Clausen, special education teacher, Wyndham Primary School.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any public comment? Any board discussion? All those in favor? Okay. A motion for the third-year probationary contract status.
I move to approve the superintendent's recommendation to grant third-year probationary status for the 2019-2020 school year to the teachers listed here. Elizabeth Brooke Harris, social worker, Jordan Small Middle School. Karen Roy, special education coach, Jordan Small Middle School. Alexander Adams, music teacher, Jordan Small Middle School. Rose Underkoffler, 3/5 music teacher, Jordan Small Middle School. Margaret Sparrow, 5th grade teacher, Manchester Elementary School. Caitlin Plains, speech and language therapist, Manchester Elementary School. Katie Thomas, 5th grade teacher, Manchester Elementary School. Martha Stone, guidance counselor, Raymond Elementary School. Courtney Regan, school nurse, Raymond Elementary School. Allison Spearin, kindergarten teacher, Raymond Elementary School. Connor McNeil, special education teacher, Wyndham High School. Carol Hazard, English teacher, Wyndham High School. Adam DeVoe, special education teacher, Wyndham Middle School. Benjamin Williamson, grade 7 teacher, Wyndham Middle School. Emily Higgins, special education teacher, Wyndham Middle School. Laura Grace, school psychologist, Wyndham Middle School. Aaron Beal, 7th grade teacher, Wyndham Middle School. Emily Atwood, foreign language teacher, Wyndham Middle School. Richard Vickers, technology instructional leader, Wyndham Middle School. Keely Trichetta, kindergarten teacher, Wyndham Primary School. Melissa Fries, grade 3 teacher, Wyndham Primary School. Shelley Roberts, speech therapist, Wyndham Primary School. Lisa Kennerson, special education coach, Wyndham Primary School. Brianna Butts, grade 2 teacher, Wyndham Primary School. Olivia Latham, kindergarten teacher, Wyndham Primary School. Heather Slattery, grade 1 teacher, Wyndham Primary School. Nicole Rogers, kindergarten teacher, Wyndham Primary School. Katharina Frost, special ed teacher at the Wyndham Primary School.
Second. It's been moved and seconded. Any public comment? Any board discussion? Oops. Public comment? Board discussion? All those in favor? Okay. All right. Could I have a motion for continuing teachers on continuing contract status?
I move to approve the superintendent's recommendation to grant continuing contract status for the 2019-2020 school year to the teachers listed here. Christina Fitzgerald, special education teacher, Jordan Small Middle School. Haley A. Durkin, grade 4 teacher, Manchester Elementary School. Tracy Doyle, grade 1 teacher, Raymond Elementary School. Nicholas Bizier, chemistry teacher, Wyndham High School. Megan Fleming, guidance counselor, Wyndham High School. Jennifer Tabor, math teacher, Wyndham High School. Michael Levine, English teacher, Wyndham High School. Thomas Offit, special ed resource teacher, Wyndham High School. Corey DiDonato, 6th grade teacher, Wyndham Middle School. Amanda Mayo, grade 7 teacher, Wyndham Middle School. Danielle M. Clark, grade 7 teacher, Wyndham Middle School. Laura Trago, guidance counselor, Wyndham Middle School. Jillian McDonald, special ed teacher, Wyndham Middle School. Lauren F. Gale, special education teacher, Wyndham Middle School. Douglas S. Elder, 7th grade math, social studies, Wyndham Middle School. Kate L. Griffin, grade 1 teacher, Wyndham Primary School. Jennifer Vasilowskis, art teacher, Wyndham Primary School. Lindsay Arbor, grade 3 teacher, Wyndham Primary School. Casey Dubé, grade 2 teacher, Wyndham Primary School. Kristen Stover, grade 1 teacher, Wyndham Primary School. And Caroline Skabinski, grade 2 teacher, Wyndham Primary School.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any public comment? Any board discussion? All those in favor? Okay. Could I have a motion to approve an appointment?
I move to approve the following appointment for the 2019-2020 school year. Beth Piazzo, 3rd grade teacher, Wyndham Primary School. Master's, salary of $55,712.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any public comment? Any board discussion?
Is this a replacement?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. All those in favor? Okay. I'll now ask Kate Levier to report on the Town of Raymond Withdrawal Committee.
Thank you. So just to give everyone a little bit of an update, I think this will be somewhat of a regular occurrence when the Raymond Withdrawal Committee has meetings, just to keep all of you in the loop, keep the public in the loop as well. So as you know, the Withdrawal Committee on the Raymond side has been formed based on the requirements from the State Department of Ed. There does have to be a school board representative on that, and I am that person. So we have presented a withdrawal agreement to the RSU. Currently, we are on step 8 of 22. And again, those steps are mandated by the State Department of Education. We did have a public forum in Raymond to hear some of the questions and concerns of the town residents. The turnout was wonderful, I thought. We had a full room, which we're not always used to here. It was a great turnout. The next withdrawal committee meeting will be May 28th. This meeting, again, will be an executive session because we will be going over the withdrawal agreement that was presented to the RSU. So I think one note that I have here on my notes is that this, and I have this question too, this all seems really out of order to me to present this whole withdrawal agreement when we really have no plan in place. It's just the way that the steps go for the state. So I think it's really important for the public to realize that, because it seems really strange to me, and I'm part of this whole thing, that it's happening in this order. But again, once an agreement is in place, that's when we'll start to work on shaping what it would look like for Raymond if we withdrew. That's when I would strongly encourage Raymond residents to come and be a part of those conversations, because it's just very, I think we saw that at that town meeting. It's very important to have the public's input and hear their concerns on either side of this whole process. I did want to let people know there is information on the Town of Raymond's website. There is a place to sign up on to be determined subcommittees. So there will be a few subcommittees as we are going forward, and starting to put together what it would look like if Raymond did withdraw. A final vote for the town wouldn't be until November 2020. It's a slow moving process for sure, which I think is really important because the committee will be really thorough and thoughtful as they move forward with this. So that is about it.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. Could I have a motion about the report, the Secretary's report, please?
I move to approve the minutes of the April 3rd, 2019 meeting.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any public comment? Any board discussion? Okay. All those in favor? Those opposed? Okay. I have a motion for
I move to approve the minutes of the April 10th, 2019 meeting.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any public comment? Any board discussion? All those in favor? All right. Okay. Committee reports. Finance?
Finance has not met.
Okay. Facilities is not here. Do you have anything, Marge, from?
We do. It actually is not from the last meeting. In fact, Chris and Ryan are more involved in this than I am, but I think it's important that everybody hears it. So if you don't mind, if Chris can go over. And it was with the Department of Education.
Okay.
So every few years, and I can't remember the exact number of years in statute, state received money through a grant called McKinney-Vento, which then is then distributed across the state to vocational centers and regions. And so the state, as part of their new application, is required to go out and meet at each of the centers and basically do some listening sessions, and then also gain some input on how to best use vocational dollars that are then trickled through to each one of those centers. And so Ryan and I had a chance to participate in a group together along with Marge, and also Principal of Gorham and Ms. DeVoe, who is now Communications Director for Department of Education, and give some feedback to the CTE individuals at the Department of Education who oversee that. And most of our conversation was about capstone type activities, where how do we continue to, or how do we provide opportunities for internships and then other opportunities for students to really learn about careers and receive career training outside of the traditional vocational region, because One of the barriers that we know for our students is that if you want to attend a vocational program, you lose a period out of your day and you're required to do some traveling. So how do we as a state tap into all the wonderful resources, especially in our two communities with Wyndham and Raymond, with the number of opportunities for trades that there are with individuals who are looking to hire. And so much of our conversation focused on that. So they were the process. Dwight's name is last name Littlefield, who I worked with at JMG for a little bit, is going across the state overseeing this process and collecting data, which will then be finally reported out as part of Maine's application.
Yeah, and we were one of 4, I think, the locations: Caribou, Augusta, and I don't remember Bangor was the other one, which is the Perkins, and I think everybody has heard of the Perkins grant.
Thank you. Policy? Nothing to report? Okay. Now we have an opportunity for the board roundtable. Anyone want to share something? Everybody's leaping up with many ideas. Marge, do you have anything?
My mind is, I have a cold and it's in my head, so it's kind of blank up there.
Okay. Anna?
You know, I really don't have a whole lot, which is on for me. Sorry. Still looking for host families for our 15 French exchange students that are coming this summer, so let me know if you're interested. It's a really fun group to be part of. Besides that, on a personal note, I'm going to go pick up my daughter from her freshman year of college tomorrow. So very excited. Welcome home all the first year kids.
That's
so
great.
excited.
Pete?
Are you going to cry?
I'm going to cry mostly because I'm going to be in the car for 12 hours. With a lot of small children. So.
Okay. Good. Yeah. Do you have anything? No? Okay.
Just real quick, as a reminder to the public, on May 22nd, we have our public budget meeting. Very important that people show up and express any thoughts about the budget, and certainly your involvement would be important to this process. And then the referendum is on June 11th, and we'll have more information going out on the link to the public about that. Through our curriculum department, Christine Hessler each year has a math and literacy night, and I just would encourage any families that want to come out on May 6th from 6 to 8 at Wyndham High School. It's a night to have some literacy games and math games, and you come out with your kiddos and have a good time. So that's the same as the art show.
Right.
And the art show. I think it's and also, we've done a lot of work this year in the district on vaping and trying to educate the dangers of vaping. And the next session that Be the Influence group is going to be working on is May 8th at 6 o'clock at Wyndham High School Auditorium. I would really encourage any families, particularly parents, if you want to better understand how vaping can really cause a hazard to any type of individual, and it is a problem in the state and across the country. And again, I would encourage any families to come out May 8th, 6 o'clock at Wyndham High School. And other than that, I think we're good to go.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
That did remind me. On Friday night, this past Friday night at the middle school, they put on. I can't remember what the name of it was, but there was all these different groups and classes that put on these different events, and there were 4 different escape rooms that the students made. One of them was Escape the Vape. It had a vaping theme to it. There was a tropical one. And Drew, I know, was very, very happy with the turnout. My whole family went. There was dodgeball in the gym. One of the groups had built this like a homemade hovercraft thing that they were using around the gym, trying out. So, and there was a Jeopardy game and lots of different stuff. So it was very well attended.
Nice.
The kids did a good job.
I was interested in the CSI event that's happening, the crime scene. That sounded really interesting. And is it next week that the Taking Back Maine's Future on the 9th, right? That's Thursday the 9th. Okay. Could I have a motion about going into executive session, please?
I move to approve going into executive session to discuss a personnel matter pursuant to 1 MRSA subsection 405 6A and not return to the regular meeting.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor? Okay. Thank you very much.